Hi everyone, welcome back. This video is going to be a very overdue October budget recap. I apologize for how late this video is this month, but it's hard keeping up with life and everything, so that's why we have some bad lighting. It's just not the best time of day to be filming, but the house is quiet, so I figured I would go ahead and film while I had a chance. So the first thing that I want to say is this month has been a bit of a game changer. Towards the end of October, I kind of had a bit of an epiphany, not really an epiphany, but I had this light bulb moment. We have been feeling kind of like a hamster in a wheel, not really making any progress with what we were doing. So I made the decision that I have been familiar with Dave Ramsey for a long time, and I made the decision towards the end of October to really go all in, or at least very close to all in. There will be a couple of different things, but we are not using our credit card anymore. And that is going to be the biggest change, and then just going full force at paying down the balance. What made me come to this decision was the debts that we have associated with my husband's business. We haven't been paying close attention to everything going through this like renovation and all of the stuff that we're doing. So when I finally sat down to total up all of the debts that he has between equipment leasing and things that went on credit cards and payments to contractors and all of that, I'm not going to share the amount, but I will say you could buy a house with it. So it's scary as heck. And that kind of led me to want to totally revamp how we're doing things. So what happened this month is I put the difference in to get our savings account to $1,000. We had been putting $20 a week into savings, but it wasn't getting there fast enough, and it was just kind of like diluting our efforts all across the board. So I put the extra amount, which was like $300, into savings, and then canceled the auto drafts. We hadn't been doing very good throughout the month of October, so we have a lot of overages here, which I can go through in just a moment. But to sum things up, we put that baby emergency fund, $1,000 emergency fund for baby step number 1 in place, and then I put a good amount of money towards the credit card, and then I changed a lot of our auto pays from billing our card to billing our coming out of our checking account, or billing our debit card. So that's a big chunk of the changes. A few smaller things that we did, I changed cell phone and internet providers, and we also canceled our pest control. Let me see, was there anything else? I'll just go through all of these in a little bit of quick detail. Let me zoom you guys in. Okay, so my salary was as expected. I did pay myself $1,000 from my side hustle, and we had $285 from like miscellaneous money that we got. I have detailed on the other page. It's not super important, but just like money from family or whatever. For our fixed expenses, those were pretty much all according to plan. And then just to show you what I did with the savings, I just left that $80 there, and then the whatever extra amount I put on a line item over here. For groceries and household, we did pretty good. We almost stayed underneath, but right at the very end of the month, there was like a $9 and something charge from Walmart. I think my husband bought something. I'm pretty sure it would have fallen under groceries and household, so that's where I put it. And I was like, darn it, I didn't know he was going to do that. We almost stayed under our budget. But yeah, so gas was way over budget for this month because at the beginning of the month, I didn't realize just how much our gas usage had increased with the start of the school year and a few other things. So I had originally only put $100 because over the summer that's what we were using, but I hadn't gotten the actual numbers from September yet. So this ended up being almost double. So we were $98 over for gas, but now in November I have adjusted for that appropriately. In the home category, yeah, this I never budget realistically for that, and then we ended up, what do we do? We got an awning for over our front door because we don't have gutters on the front, and the whole entry area is just really bad with all of the rain that basically comes right in if you open the door. So we put an awning over our front door, and that was like probably about $300, I think. I'd have to go check, but anyway, so that went over. For personal, I honestly don't even remember. I think a lot of this was stuff for my daughter for school or clothing. For my husband, he needed some new things, so that went over as well. This was a really bad month, you guys. Bad and good in a couple of different ways, but credit card interest, pretty close on that one. Heating, we didn't actually spend this on fuel like I expected to, but instead the furnace broke and we had to pay for someone to come out and repair it. So that is where those expenses came from. Miscellaneous, obviously, don't actually record anything actual there. We did have a medical bill, just like a copay. And then for cell phones, we switched from Sprint to Cricket, and so I bought, this amount is for the first month of our plan plus 2 SIM cards, which were $10 each. So yeah, our bill is going to go down from like $80 to, no, actually I think we were paying, how much were we paying for cell phones? We were paying almost $90 a month, and now it's going to be $60 or I think $55 because we have it on auto pay, so they give a $5 credit. So our cell phone bill is going to go down almost $35, which is great, but I will say that our service has been absolutely horrible. I've dropped calls. It's really it's bad service. I don't know if it's just us and where we are, but we're probably going to stick with it just because, you know, we can manage and we're broke, so we can't afford anything else. But yeah, just an update if you're considering switching to Cricket. It's, you know, it hasn't been the best experience for us, but what are you going to do? We're trying to get out of debt. Internet, new. I thought I was going to have that we had a payment at some point in October when I made the switch, but I guess they didn't take it out yet, so that didn't come out. We switched from Spectrum to Verizon Fios, and now that we're on fiber, the they had to come and install a fiber line from the road to our house, and there was a $99 fee for that. So we split that up between the first 2 months, and that is in the long run going to drop our bill down, but you'll see that in November when I do that next. So all in all, we only ended up with an extra amount of $355.97 for this month, all said and done. Part of that was because we put an extra like $300 into savings, and then what I did was I took the bulk of what was in our checking account and then just paid it right towards our credit card. So we had $2,155 in spending on the card, and I made $3,600 in payments, plus this $117 over here is like cashback rewards crediting the account, so I made use of that as well. So our ending balance for October was $11,562.02, which was down almost $2,000, which is pretty good. That math doesn't seem to work out, but I promise that's what the balances were at the start and ending. So maybe there was a discrepancy with the spending. I'm not sure. I don't know. It's too far back now for me to go to bother going back and checking. So that is October for us. I put a little check mark here because one of my goals was to get the $1,000 emergency fund by the end of the year, but I decided to just put the money in there and be done with it. So that is checked off, and we are totally on pace to put to get our credit card balance down below $9,000 before the end of the year. So yeah, I'm gonna make this ending short and sweet because I have to film November's budget next. Thank you guys for joining me. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. And as always, I don't know how to end these videos. So I'm not even going to refilm this. It's gonna stay in the video. Have a good one, guys. See ya.